Hello and welcome back to my vlog. So today I'm at Leeds train station, as you can probably hear in the background. Today's a really exciting and special day today actually. So I'm going to a parliamentary reception at the Houses of Parliament in Westminster, which is equally exciting and also terrifying because I've obviously never been to the Houses of Parliament before. I think it's something that you just see on TV, on the news, and never actually think you'll be kind of like, frequenting the hallways there. So yeah, really intrigued and excited to kind of just generally go there and be there. And also obviously the event itself, which is a celebration really of 21 years of access into higher education. So the event itself is being hosted by MP Gareth Snell and my friends over at Neon. So yeah, really excited to attend. We'll be talking about the future as well of access to higher education and the importance of partnerships. So I think it's going to be a good day. So yes, I will take you as far as I can. I'm definitely sure I won't be able to film in the Houses of Parliament, but I will take you as far as I can.
Yeah, newsflash, I was actually able to take videos and record when inside the Houses of Parliament. I'm not quite sure where I thought I was going, but I thought I definitely would be able to, but yeah, I was. So keep watching to follow my journey, and I'll be back at the end with my thoughts and reflections.
The 21st anniversary of Aimhigher. Because from the personal level, I was involved in Aimhigher when it began. The name Aimhigher, of course, some will recall, actually came from projects we did in Merseyside, which we now
takeaways from the parliamentary reception, and the first one is hope, really. So I really feel like there was kind of this positive sentiment, energy in the room and rhetoric coming from the Minister Jackie Smith and also MP Gareth Snell in this area, and I feel like this is something that's kind of starting to permeate through the sector currently from other things that I've seen generally going on. I think it goes without saying that last year was a really tough year for the sector, and there are still some very real challenges that we're facing this year. But I think you could feel that there was this sense of hope that was returning to the sector. Number two, a very real commitment coming out of Westminster, obviously from what they've said. And that's shown from, like I say, the Minister and Gareth Snell as well. From what they were saying, they really understand that where you live should absolutely not have such a profound effect on your outcomes. And Jackie gave a really impassioned speech on this, and from an economic perspective as well, she made the case that we really do need a skilled workforce to drive progression in the country. So it's not just a case of kind of morality, actually, we all benefit as well. And Gareth Snell, seen the impacts of the work that we do firsthand in his own constituency. So 18% of students have thought about HE without intervention, and that rises to 56% with intervention within his area, so he cited those stats as well. And then the third thing is really the magnitude of the Uni Connect partnerships and the very real value that they add in this space. They're doing some great work. We've generally done a lot of work with Uni Connects, and we've seen firsthand the brilliant work and the brilliant value that they're adding to the sector and to this space. So there was a talk from Bal, who's the Aimhigher lead. So Aimhigher, a partnership that has been in existence since I think the very beginning. And she really underlined the very real work that has been done and is being done. So since 2017, she had some really impressive stats. So over 195,000 activities have been undertaken and 1.5 million young people engaged with. So, obviously, as you can see, that is a really vast and impressive number in terms of the actual work that's being done. So there is, of course, more work to be done. Not to say that what's been done so far hasn't been, brilliant and really having an impact. From what we've seen and some of the research that's coming out, we can see that the work being done is having an impact. But number 4 is actually the launch of the new report that was actually launched at the event. And this has come from NEON, and the focus of this is access to higher education and the regional inequalities as well. So the report really kind of shows that there's an incredibly variable picture regionally when it comes to access and participation. So the gap in HE participation between free school meal and non-free school meals for pupils has increased overall from 2012-13 to 2022-2023, and that's gone up from 17.5% to 20%. Other points coming out of the report in terms of findings is, as of 2022-23, free school meal HE participation rate in 67% of the local authority areas was still below the national average of 29%. But there were a couple of positives. 11 areas, local authority areas, saw their free school meal HE participation rate at least double during that period, which is great. And then there's obviously a lot more detail that the report goes into, so I would encourage you to have a look at that and have a read of the report. Number 5 is, what does the future actually look like for access and participation in higher education? And I think, the report goes into that in more detail. And I think within the context of these entrenched regional inequalities, there are some suggestions within the report. So the report suggests a really rejuvenated approach, and the base of this is collaboration and really pooling resources and sharing services, which is what the Uni Connect partnership is predicated on in terms of their foundation. Setting of regional targets for free school meal participation as well is something else that's suggested, and a national coordination function that actually sits and exists outside of the parameters of the HE regulator. Something else that's spoken about in the report in terms of suggestions is national streams of collaborative work to focus on those really smaller groups that face really significant challenges. So Gypsy Roma traveller students and also care experience students. And finally, really tightening up that strategic relationship between national outreach programmes and also local government as well is really underlined in the report. Those are my takeaways, just generally from going to the event and also from reading the report in terms of the summary and the findings. So next steps is read the report. I will link to this as well, so you can check that out. Also have a look at NEON. If this is an area that you're really interested in, they regularly do put out really brilliant events and are just generally a very well-connected organisation. So I would encourage you to have a look at them. Sign up to my newsletter. Obviously, I am going to say that, but I genuinely do think there is some really valuable content in them. We regularly do get positive feedback about the resources that we put in there. So if you enjoyed me talking about this topic, we regularly discuss topics like this. Sit down with thought leaders in the space, we do interviews and also develop resources to help you in your role. So I will also link to that if you wanted to sign up. And finally, I really hope you enjoyed this vlog. Written blog coming soon. I think once I've got a moment, I will write some things up because there are some things here that I wanted to explore a little further. So until next time.